Hey, yo, everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Robin Unmasked. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, Robin Unmasked is the first trade we get for Robin since Robin Flying Solo, which is actually kind of sad when you think about it, because Flying Solo was done during Nightfall, and this is done right before War Games, so there's kind of a big gap in between the two. Again, this is attributed to the fact that a lot of Robin's issues are put into crossovers with Batman, so his comic is more for Batman than it is for his own, but that's a different argument and discussion for a different time. Now, Unmasked starts what I like to call a 3-volume trilogy by Bill Willingham, and the other 2 volumes in this is To Kill a Bird and Days of Fire and Madness, both of which I will review. Now, in reviewing all 3 trades, I'm going to try to review them as individual trades, but also at the same time on how they contribute to them as a whole. So, with that said, let's get right into the story for Robin Unmasked. Robin Unmasked has a few core elements into it. One, we get the introduction of kind of a new villain for Robin, and that's Johnny Warlock. Now, Johnny Warlock's kind of like a common thug who has a run-in with Robin. But after a twist of fate, he gets his hand on this old relic that gives him power beyond his imagination. While this is happening, Robin also accidentally thinks that he killed someone. Now, whether or not he does this, you'll have to see. But it's really hard for Robin because this really takes a toll on him. I mean, this is like the golden rule, do not kill. And he doesn't want to be deemed as a killer. The last thing is that his father's starting to get suspicious of exactly what Tim Drake is doing on his off time. And while he's getting suspicious, he's starting to find out that Tim Drake, get it, is actually Robin. And this could take down Tim Drake's job as Robin for sure. So, the question is this. Will Tim Drake be able to survive without being Robin? Or will he find a way to convince his father to allow him to be Robin? And will he be able to clear his name of the supposed killing of an individual? Well, you're going to just have to read and see. So let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, let's talk about it as part of the 3-volume trilogy. As part of the trilogy, it starts things off nice. It sets down a foundation, introduces characters, and it gives us a nice key plot. Particularly the whole Robin possibly killing someone, and also Robin, getting found out that he's Robin. This ties in a lot to War Games too. So if you want to read War Games and you're a little confused, or War Drums and you're a little confused why Tim Drake is not Robin, you might want to read this. This actually explains it. And I like the confrontation and the conflict between his father and Bruce Wayne. I thought it was kind of interesting and fun. The action scenes are pretty good on this. I like how confident Tim Drake is in this, at least in the beginning. It kind of shows how much he's a seasoned veteran at this point. So there's some good points. The art is also okay. It's a little cartoony-ish, but for cartoony art, it's bearable and good. Bad points. Well, this really does transition to the other ones, and in saying that, that's probably the bad point for reading this. If you're trying to read this on your own, you really should read it with the other one. Another bad point is, I wish this was bigger. I wish it had more to it. It's kind of a thin book, and they really don't go into it that much. And it's $12, so it's not like a lot, but it would have been nice if they kind of expanded on the elements a bit more, the plots and the characters before they transition into Kill a Bird. Because what you'll see is in this 3-volume trilogy, although a lot of plot points and characters and elements get transitioned over, there's a different tone to each story and a different feel to each story. So I would have liked a little bit more in this. Another issue to really would have helped this book out. Whether or not you should get it. Well, I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. Unmasked, out of all the books in the trilogy, is probably the easiest to read on its own, as its own individual story. Although I recommend all the books be read as a whole. In saying that, that doesn't mean necessarily it's good on its own. It just means it's the best out of the 3. In saying that, it's also an okay story, mediocre at best. If you're picking this up for yourself on its own, I probably would recommend not doing it. But if you're picking this up as part of the 3-volume trilogy, it's probably definitely the strong point of it. It's definitely the best of the 3. In comparing it with the trilogy, reading it with the trilogy, it's good. Reading it without the trilogy, it's mediocre at best. You get what I'm saying? So you're better off getting this with the other 2 trades than getting this alone. And you'll see when I review the other 2, I'm going to make the same recommendation when it comes down to it. Is you should really get them for the other 2 trades. But wait until I actually go into the review of those. So Robin Unmasked, mediocre story. Get it with the other 2 trades, and it's a better 2 story. So with that said, I'm going to end this review here. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.